Welcome back to Chocketable Media. Here's an overview of the latest developments in Nigeria and the reactions from various Nigerians, including former President Goodluck Jonathan. On March 18, 2024, President Bola Tinubu declared a state of emergency in Rivers State, attributing it to a breakdown in governance stemming from conflicts between Governor Siminalayi Fubara and state lawmakers, as well as attacks on oil facilities. This declaration led to the suspension of elected officials, including the governor, deputy governor, and assembly members. In their place, retired Naval Chief Iboket Ibas was appointed as the sole administrator. The action was taken under Section 305 of Nigeria's 1999 Constitution and received National Assembly approval, despite facing some dissent. Critiques from notable figures. Goodluck Jonathan, former president, speaking at the Hask Sartumari Foundation colloquium in Abuja, Jonathan criticized the suspension of democratic institutions, stating it harms Nigeria's global reputation and investment opportunities. He accused all branches of government, executive, legislative and judicial, of misusing their power and neglecting democratic principles. He raised alarms about judicial independence and stressed the importance of maintaining institutional integrity. Wole Soyinka, Nobel laureate, he denounced the emergency declaration as contrary to the principles of federalism, arguing that the constitution excessively concentrates power in the presidency. Soyinka advocated for a national conference to create a people's constitution that accurately represents Nigeria's diverse society and federal ideals. Broader opposition. A range of stakeholders, including governors from the PDP, the Nigerian Bar Association, the Nigeria Labour Congress, and various civil society organizations, have voiced their opposition to the emergency rule, perceiving it as an overreach that threatens democratic governance. Government's defense. Temitope Adji, spokesperson for Tinubu, acknowledged the concerns raised by critics, but defended the president's actions as constitutional and essential for maintaining national unity. He referenced a Supreme Court ruling that confirmed the lack of a functioning government in Rivers State, which he argued justified the federal intervention. Contextual notes. Jonathan referenced his 2013 state of emergency in 3 northeastern states, which preserved democratic structures, contrasting it with Rivers' suspension of elected officials. Soyinka stressed long-standing structural issues, advocating constitutional reform to decentralize power. The situation underscores tensions between federal authority and regional governance, sparking debates over constitutional interpretation, federalism, and democratic integrity in Nigeria. Thank you for watching. Let's watch the statements of the former President Jonathan and also Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka. Please subscribe, like and share. You may comment below.
And of course, what is happening in Nigeria today regarding the situation in Rivers State is like an Indian proverb that said that if somebody is sleeping, really sleeping, you can easily wake up that person. But if the person is pretending to sleep, you find it difficult to wake up that person. The key actors in Nigeria, from executive to the legislature, luckily Senator Binta and others are here, and the judiciary, they know the correct thing to do. But they are refusing to do it. They are pretending to sleep. And waking such a person is extremely difficult because the person knows the right thing. A clear abuse of offices, clear abuse of power, clear abuse of privileges, cutting across from the 3 arms of government, from the executive to the parliament to the judiciary. And I always plead with our people that whatever we do affects everybody. And sometimes we do things and we think that it doesn't affect us. I've been a president before, and even after leaving office as a former president, people get to me. Why is that our passport is not valued that much? Why is that Nigerians are not given the kind of treatment we're supposed to receive at the international airports? Sometimes we think it's because of Yahoo boys or 419ers. No, not only them. Yes, they are part of the problem. But whatever happens in the country today will be good, especially relating to what is currently happening in the country regarding Rivers State. As we gather here today, we are reminded that the pursuit of social change is a continuous journey, one that requires a collective effort, commitment, and perseverance. The theme of this colloquium is timely and relevant as we seek to address the pressing issue of our time, from inequality and bigotry to social injustice and marginalization. I believe that it is mark of good leadership and governance to be able to leverage the transformative power of diversity, equity, and inclusion for social change. As a leader, I have seen how these values can bring people together, foster a sense of belonging, and unlock the full potential of individuals and communities. And that is why till today, I think I appointed more women into office than any other president. Because the issue of inclusivity is critical. However, I have also seen
this situation is actually a few days old. I was watching what action will be taken by the House of Assembly, by Senate, and even by the affected politicians in River State, whom I expect to be in the court by now, because above the president himself, there's the law, and I expect those who are affected to take the primary step. Let me confess that I was surprised at the ease with which this emergency law, that step, was applauded and passed. And then the critical question, even within the powers of a president under democratic dispensation, there are areas of discretion. And you're quite right to point out this wholesale suspension of everything to government. I think that's an over excessive response within the rights and the powers. We're assuming now, let's say that the president is constitutionally right, but within his powers, there are also areas of discretion. And I think that the wholesale scuttling of the democratic existence in the rivers was excessive. I think it could have been managed much better, much more economically. I think the president did not sort of curb the extent. He didn't economize on his presidential emergency powers. On that issue, I agree with you absolutely. There's an issue of the Constitution. Is the president's action constitutional? And I hope the affected politicians, governor and representatives, that they test this all the way up so that we get a clearer picture once and for all. Instead of running around in circles from regime to regime, it should be possible by now for one to be able to say confidently that this action is illegal, is unconstitutional, or otherwise. So for now, we can only leave it to the constitutional lawyers to guide us. Now, the next question is it politically wise? In my view, this takes us on a slippery slope. It's not what I would have liked to see happen right now with all our struggle to attain a federal structure. The spirit of it, in my view, is contrary to the spirit of federalism. Now, I spoke very carefully and deliberately, because this does not vitiate maybe the rightness of the action. It does not establish the wrongness. But with my commitment to a genuine federal structure, when an event like this happens, I say we're back on the slippery slope. And I hope that it is tested all the way, because as I've said, we've been through this before under different regimes. It's either we have a decentralized federalist structure, or we have a quasi-dictatorial, whimsical kind of government which just panders to the political leaning of whoever happens to be in charge at the moment. So that's my take on it. Obviously, I'm going to go deeper and find out just what on earth has been going on in in the real estate, that led to this, what I consider an unfortunate step in our federalist journey.
Thank you for watching. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing so you won't miss out any of our latest video.